Ladies and gentlemen, imagine this. It's 2 a.m. You're jolted awake, your legs numb, your body cold, your heart racing just enough to remind you you're not a machine. You stumble to the bathroom, driven by an urge that feels like it's hijacking your very biology. You're not alone. For millions of people over 60, this isn't just a bad night, it's a nightly sabotage. Nocturia, the medical term for waking up to urinate, isn't just an inconvenience. It's a glitch in the most sophisticated system in the universe, your body. And I'm here to tell you, as Dr. Musk, a physician with a relentless obsession for solving hard problems, that this glitch is fixable. Not with pills, not with surgeries, not with some overhyped biotech gadget, but with something so fundamental, it's almost laughably simple. The timing of when you drink water. I'm not just a doctor standing here spouting medical dogma. I'm a systems thinker, a guy who spent decades reengineering rockets, cars, and neural interfaces to push humanity forward. And I've learned one thing, whether it's a Tesla battery or your kidneys, no system works if you ignore its core mechanics. The human body is no different. It's a machine, a biological spaceship navigating the chaos of aging in a world that's moving faster than ever. And Nocturia? It's a design flaw we can hack, not by fighting biology, but by aligning with it. Let me take you back to a moment in my own life when I was burning the candle at both ends, 100-hour weeks at Tesla and SpaceX, fueled by coffee, ambition, and frankly, way too much water at the wrong times. I'd chug a bottle at 9 p.m., thinking I was being healthy, only to find myself wide awake at 3 a.m., pacing my bathroom floor, my brain foggy, my productivity shot. I was 45, not 60, but my body was already sending signals. Elon, you're screwing up the system. I could have popped a diuretic or some sleep aid. Big Pharma would have loved that. But I don't solve problems by masking symptoms. I dig into the root cause, just like I did when a Falcon 9 rocket failed to land. So I started treating my body like a mission critical system. I tracked my sleep with a wearable device, analyzed my fluid intake, and cross-referenced it with kidney function data. The pattern was clear. Late night water was overloading my bladder, disrupting my REM sleep, and tanking my next day's output. My solution? I re-engineered my hydration schedule, leaning on warm water, ginger, and a ruthless cutoff at 6 p.m. Within 3 nights, I was sleeping deeper, waking sharper, and getting more done. That's when I realized the body isn't the problem. Our habits are. Now, let's talk about you, especially if you're over 60 or care about someone who is. After 60, your body's systems start to slow down. Your kidneys, those twin filtration plants, don't process fluids as fast. Your bladder, that elastic storage tank, loses its stretch. Your sleep, the brain's nightly reset, becomes fragile, like a neural network on the edge of collapse. The Sleep Health Journal published a study showing that older adults who adjusted their water intake timing, specifically stopping after 6 p.m., slashed their nighttime bathroom trips by up to 32% and extended their deep sleep by nearly 20%. That's not trivial. Deep sleep isn't just rest. It's when your brain consolidates memories, your heart repairs, and your immune system recalibrates. Lose it, and you're not just tired, you're compromising the very systems that keep you alive. The Mayo Clinic backs this up. It's not how much water you drink, but when. Water is the ultimate biohack. It thins your blood, supports your kidneys, and regulates fluid balance, but drink it at the wrong time, and it's like pouring fuel into a rocket after liftoff disaster. Late night hydration overwhelms your bladder, spikes your blood pressure, and pulls you out of REM sleep, leaving you groggy and vulnerable. The data is undeniable. A single 8-ounce glass of water at 7 p.m. can have you up at 2 a.m., your body cold, your mind racing, and no way to claw back that lost sleep. But time it right, and water becomes your ally, not your enemy. Let's break this down like an engineering problem. Your kidneys filter about 50 gallons of blood daily, producing 1 to 2 quarts of urine. After 60, that filtration rate, your glomerular filtration rate, or GFR, drops by about 1% per year. Your bladder's capacity shrinks from around 20 ounces in your 30s to as little as 10 ounces by your 70s. Meanwhile, your brain's sleep architecture shifts. Less deep sleep, more light sleep, and a higher chance of waking from even minor disruptions. Nocturia isn't just a bladder issue, it's a systems failure where kidneys, bladder, and brain are misaligned. The solution? Reprogram the system by drinking water at 5 critical windows, validated by institutions like Cleveland Clinic and Johns Hopkins. These aren't random guesses, they're precise interventions to optimize your body's fluid dynamics. I'm not here to bore you with medical jargon or sell you a miracle cure. I'm here to give you a blueprint, the same way I'd design a reusable rocket or a neural chip. The human body is the most complex machine we'll ever operate, and yet we treat it like an afterthought, gulping water whenever we feel like it, then wondering why it betrays us at 2 a.m. My approach as Dr. Musk is simple. Treat your body like a mission to Mars. Every input matters, every timing decision is critical. And the stakes? Not just a good night's sleep, but your brain's clarity, your heart's resilience, and your ability to tackle the challenges of a world that's accelerating faster than a Tesla in ludicrous mode. Let's zoom out for a second. We live in an era of unprecedented technological disruption, AI, biotech, space travel, but none of that matters if we can't master the basics of our own biology. I've spent my life pushing boundaries from electric cars to colonizing Mars, but I've learned that the ultimate frontier isn't out there, it's inside you. Your body is a spacecraft, and aging is just another engineering challenge. Nocturia isn't a life sentence. It's a puzzle we can solve with logic, discipline, and a touch of audacity. So, here's my challenge to you. Stop accepting sleepless nights as just aging. Stop reaching for pills that dull your mind or devices that promise more than they deliver. Instead, think like an engineer. Think like me. Treat your body as a system to be optimized, not a mystery to be endured. The 5 time windows I'm sharing today aren't just about water, they're about reclaiming control over your biology, your sleep, and your life. Because if we're going to build a future that spans galaxies, we need to start by mastering the 98.6-degree universe inside each of us. This is where it begins, with a glass of water, a clock, and a decision to take charge. Let's engineer a better night's sleep, a sharper mind, and a body that doesn't just survive but thrives. Because in the end, the only thing standing between you and your potential is a system that's begging to be re-engineered. Let's get to work. All right, folks, let's dive into the mechanics of the human machine. If your body is a spaceship hand, trust me, it's the most advanced one you'll ever pilot. Then the morning is your launch window. Get it right, and you're soaring into the day with clear focus, a steady heart, and kidneys humming like a well-tuned engine. Get it wrong, and you're stuck in low orbit, battling fatigue, fluid buildup, and those maddening 2 a.m. bathroom runs. As Dr. Musk, I'm not here to throw medical platitudes at you. I'm here to give you the code to reprogram your biology, starting with the first 2 of 5 critical time windows for drinking water. These aren't arbitrary moments, they're precision strikes to align your kidneys, blood, and brain for optimal performance. Let's fire up the engines. Picture this. It's 6:30 a.m. Your body's been offline for hours, running on low power after a night of minimal hydration. Your blood's thicker than it should be. Think molasses, not motor oil. Your blood pressure's dipping, your kidneys are sluggish, and your metabolism's crawling like a primo 1.0s Tesla prototype. This is your body's most vulnerable state, especially after 60, when your glomerular filtration rate, the kidney's processing speed, is down by about 15 to 20% compared to your 30s. If you don't act now, your system stays in low gear, delaying filtration until midday. Result? Fluid piles up, your calves swell, and your bladder decides to throw a party at 3 a.m. That's not a life, that's a design flaw. Here's the first time window, 6:30 to 7 a.m., 8 to 10 ounces of warm water, sip slowly. This isn't just hydration, it's a system reboot. Warm water hits your stomach and intestines like a gentle spark, absorbing in 5 to 10 minutes. It thins your blood, nudges your heart rate up, and tells your kidneys, time to clock in. The Mayo Clinic calls this one of the simplest ways to jumpstart digestion, ease constipation, and support liver and kidney detox in older adults. A 2019 study in the Journal of Human Nutrition and Dietetics backs it up. Folks over 60 who sipped warm water every morning for 6 weeks saw a measurable boost in their glomerular filtration rate and a 32% drop in nighttime urination. They also felt sharper, less bloated, and had fewer muscle cramps. That's not magic, it's engineering. Let me make it personal. Back when I was pushing Tesla through its production hell phase, I'd roll out of bed at 5 a.m., already wired from the previous day's chaos. My mornings were coffee, emails, and zero water, big mistake. My body was dehydrated, my focus was shaky, and by noon, I was fighting brain fog that no espresso could fix. So I ran an experiment. I swapped my coffee for 8 ounces of warm water with a slice of fresh ginger, sipped while I brushed my teeth, and scanned X for updates. The ginger wasn't just for flavor, its gingerol compounds have mild anti-inflammatory properties like a software patch for my digestive system. Within days, my mornings felt crisper, my digestion smoother, and my nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 3 to 1. I wasn't just hydrated, I was optimized. Here's how you do it. Right after you brush your teeth, grab a mug of warm water about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, not scalding. Sip it slowly, like you're savoring a fine bourbon, not chugging a protein shake. If you want to level up, add a thin slice of ginger or a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Both pack antioxidants that reduce inflammation and nudge your bowels into action without upsetting your stomach. This isn't about flooding your system, it's about precision 8 to 10 ounces, no more, no less. Think of it as calibrating your body's fuel injectors before the day's drive. Now, let's fast forward to the second time window, 11:30 a.m. to noon, 5 to 8 ounces of warm water, 20 to 30 minutes before lunch. This is your pre-flight checklist for the day's main meal. Your body's gearing up, secreting digestive juices like a factory prepping for a big order. If you drink water now, you're priming the system for efficiency. The water helps your stomach produce just enough acid to break down food without triggering reflux, a common issue in older adults as the esophageal sphincter weakens. It also signals your kidneys to keep filtering smoothly, avoiding the fluid overload that hits later if you skip this step. The American Journal of Physiology found that drinking water 30 minutes before meals speeds up gastric emptying, reduces pressure on your digestive tract, and stabilizes blood sugar, critical for anyone over 60, especially with diabetes or metabolic syndrome. I learned this the hard way during a SpaceX crunch. I'd scarf down lunch between meetings, washing it down with ice cold water or soda. Terrible idea. My stomach would bloat, my energy would crash, and by evening, my body was holding water like a poorly designed reservoir. So I started sipping 6 ounces of warm water with a slice of apple before lunch, giving my system a head start. The apple added a hint of natural sweetness and antioxidants, like a firmware update for my gut. The result? Less bloating, better nutrient absorption, and a kidney workload that didn't spill into the night. Data from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirms this. Seniors who spread out their water intake before meals improved their kidney filtration rates and cut nighttime urination significantly. Here's your protocol. About 20 minutes before lunch, sip 5 to 8 ounces of warm water. If you want flavor, toss in a slice of apple or a pinch of cinnamon. Both have mild antioxidant properties that ease inflammation in your digestive tract. Keep it simple, keep it warm, and don't rush. This isn't about volume, it's about timing. Your kidneys don't need a tsunami, they need a steady stream to stay in sync with your body's rhythm. Why does this matter? Because your body isn't just a collection of organs, it's a networked system, like a neural net or a Starlink constellation. Every input affects the whole. Morning hydration wakes your kidneys and brain. Pre-lunch water optimizes digestion and filtration. Together, they set the stage for a day where your body runs like a Tesla on autopilot, smooth, efficient, and ready for the long haul. But miss these windows, and you're forcing your system to play catch up, storing fluid that'll haunt you at midnight. Let's talk tech for a second. I'm a fan of data-driven solutions, so I'd pair this hydration strategy with a wearable like a smartwatch or a health tracker. These devices can monitor your heart rate, estimate your hydration status, and even track your sleep cycles. I used one to fine-tune my own schedule, logging when I drank and how it correlated with my REM sleep. The data was clear. Morning and pre-lunch water shifted my urine output to the daytime, freeing my nights for deep sleep. In a world where we're building AI to predict market trends, why not use tech to predict your body's needs? It's not sci-fi, it's science, and it's available now. This isn't about following rules for the sake of rules. It's about understanding your body as a system with inputs and outputs, cycles, and feedback loops. After 60, your margin for error shrinks, your kidneys don't forgive late night water, your bladder doesn't stretch, and your brain doesn't recover from broken sleep. But you're not powerless. You're the engineer of your own biology. These two time windows, 6:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., are your first steps to rewriting the code. They're not about deprivation or complexity, they're about precision and control. So here's my charge to you. Start tomorrow morning with 8 ounces of warm water, maybe with a slice of ginger to give your system a kick. Then, before lunch, sip 6 ounces with a hint of apple or cinnamon. Don't just drink, think. Think about your body as a machine you're tuning for peak performance. Because in this chaotic, exponential world, the greatest technology isn't a rocket or a neural chip, it's the one keeping you sharp, strong, and ready to conquer whatever comes next. You're not just aging, you're upgrading. Act like it. Ladies and gentlemen, Let's shift gears. If your body is a spacecraft, and I'm convinced it's the most intricate one you'll ever command, then the afternoon is when you hit cruising altitude. This is the phase where your systems are humming, but they're also vulnerable to turbulence, fluid retention, sluggish circulation, and the creeping fatigue that can derail your evening. As Dr. Musk, I'm not here to sell you a quick fix or a trendy wellness hack. I'm here to arm you with precision tools to optimize your body's performance, specifically through two critical hydration windows, 3 o'clock to 4 p.m. and around 5 p.m. These aren't random pit stops, they're calculated maneuvers to keep your kidneys, circulation, and brain firing on all cylinders, ensuring you glide into the night without a full bladder crashing your sleep. Let's dive into the mechanics of this biological acceleration. Picture yourself mid-afternoon, maybe 3 p.m. You've been sitting for a couple of hours, maybe working, reading, or just relaxing. Your legs feel heavy, your socks are leaving marks on your ankles, and your shoes are tighter than they were this morning. Sound familiar? That's fluid retention, a silent saboteur that hits harder after 60. Gravity pulls blood and lymphatic fluid downward, especially if you're sedentary and your body's natural pumps, your calf muscles and lymphatic system aren't getting enough action. By evening, this fluid buildup can overload your bladder, waking you up at 2 a.m. with a vengeance. The Cleveland Clinic points out that older adults often overlook this phenomenon, but it's a signal your system needs a nudge to stay balanced. Here's the third time window, 3 o'clock to 4 p.m., 6 to 8 ounces of warm water, sip slowly. This isn't about flooding your system, it's about giving your kidneys a gentle push to process fluid before it pools in your legs or overwhelms your bladder at night. Warm water, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, acts like a lubricant for your circulatory system, thinning your blood just enough to ease the load on your heart and kidneys. A study in Advances in Chronic Kidney Disease found that consistent afternoon hydration boosts daytime urine output, cutting the risk of nighttime urination by helping your kidneys clear excess fluid early. Those who drank 6 to 8 ounces in this window reported less leg swelling, better energy, and fewer midnight bathroom trips. That's not a coincidence, it's engineering. Let me take you behind the scenes of my own life. During the Neuralink development crunch, I'd spend afternoons hunched over prototypes, barely moving. By 4 p.m., my calves felt like lead, and I'd noticed my ankles puffing up, a classic sign of fluid retention. I could have ignored it, chalked it up to stress, but I don't let systems fail without a fight. So I started sipping 6 ounces of warm water around 3:30 p.m., sometimes with a pinch of sea salt to balance electrolytes. Think of it as fine-tuning a battery's charge. I paired it with 5 minutes of light walking around the lab, activating my calf muscles to pump fluid back up. The result? My legs felt lighter, my focus sharpened, and my sleep data from my wearables showed fewer disruptions. I wasn't just hydrating, I was recalibrating my body's fluid dynamics. Here's your protocol. Between 3 o'clock and 4 p.m., sip 6 to 8 ounces of warm water over 10 to 15 minutes. No gulping, treat it like you're pacing a SpaceX launch sequence. If you want a boost, add a few mint leaves. They're not just refreshing, but have mild diuretic properties that support kidney function without overstimulation. Better yet, follow it with a short walk 5 minutes around your house or office. This contracts your calf muscles, kickstarts lymphatic flow, and tells your kidneys, keep moving. It's a small action with exponential returns, less swelling, better circulation, and a bladder that doesn't sabotage your sleep. Now, let's move to the fourth time window. 5 p.m., 4 to 6 ounces of warm water, 15 to 30 innards before light activity. This is your pre-burn phase, whether you're planning a walk, some gardening, or just tidying up. After 60, your muscles and joints stiffen faster, and your cardiovascular system doesn't bounce back like it used to. Dehydration, even mild, can make you feel creaky, raise your risk of cramps, and spike your blood pressure during movement. Drinking water now is like prepping a rocket for a controlled burn. It ensures your systems are primed for action. The Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who sipped water before light evening activity felt more energized, had less leg fatigue, and maintained a steadier daytime urination pattern. That's your body working as a cohesive unit, not a collection of misfiring parts. I've been there. During a Starlink deployment phase, I'd take evening walks to clear my head, but without prehydration, my legs would cramp and I'd feel dizzy by the end. So I started sipping 5 ounces of warm water with a splash of diluted coconut water natural electrolytes. No sugar bomb before heading out. It was like upgrading my body's firmware, smoother movement, less fatigue, and no midnight bladder alerts. The International Society of Sports Nutrition confirms this approach stabilizes muscles and cardiovascular function in older adults, reducing strain on the kidneys by promoting sweat over bladder storage. Your move: 15 to 30 minutes before any light evening activity, sip 4 to 6 ounces of warm water. If you sweat heavily, add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of coconut water to keep electrolytes in check. Think of it as fueling your body for a low orbit maneuver enough to keep you moving, not so much it throws you off course. Pair it with activity, a walk, some stretches, or even light housework. This isn't about breaking a sweat, it's about keeping your system fluid, literally and figuratively. Why does this matter in a world obsessed with AI and biotech? Because the most advanced technology isn't a chip or a robot, it's you. Your body is a network of 37 trillion cells, each a tiny factory responding to your inputs. After 60, those factories need precise instructions to avoid bottlenecks like fluid retention or bladder overload. These two time windows, 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., are your chance to steer the system, not let it drift. And here's where tech comes in. Use a wearable to track your fluid balance or activity levels. I do it, my device pings me at 3 p.m. to sip water and move. It's not about gadgets for gadgets' sake, it's about data-driven decisions to keep your body's engine purring. This isn't just about avoiding a bathroom trip at 2 a.m., it's about reclaiming your afternoon energy, your evening mobility, and your right to a night of unbroken sleep. It's about treating your body like a mission-critical system, not a black box you hope doesn't fail. In my world, we don't hope, we engineer. We don't accept defaults, we optimize. These hydration windows are your code to rewrite the afternoon, to keep your kidneys and circulation in sync, and to set the stage for a night where your brain can dream, not your bladder. So take control. Sip 6 ounces at 3 p.m., walk for 5 minutes, feel your legs lighten. Then at 5 p.m., sip 4 ounces before you move, whether it's a stroll or a stretch. You're not just drinking water, you're programming your body to run like a Tesla, not a clunky gas guzzler. Because in this relentless, exponential world, the only way to stay ahead is to master the machine you were born with. You're not just surviving these years, you're accelerating through them. Make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the art of the shutdown. In my world, whether it's landing a Falcon 9 or powering down a Tesla factory for the night, a clean, deliberate stop is as critical as a perfect launch. Your body is no different. After 60, your biological systems, your kidneys, your bladder, your brain don't just keep running like they did in your 20s. They need a precise off switch to conserve energy, protect your sleep, and keep you sharp for the next day's mission. As Dr. Musk, I'm here to tell you that the fifth and final time window for hydration isn't about drinking, it's about stopping. Specifically, ceasing all water intake after 6 p.m. This isn't a suggestion. It's a strategic maneuver to safeguard your sleep, optimize your biology, and reclaim the night from the tyranny of a full bladder. Let's break down why this matters and how to execute it like a systems engineer. Imagine your body as a high-performance spacecraft orbiting through the day. By evening, you've fueled it with water at precise intervals: morning, pre-lunch, mid-afternoon, pre-activity. Your kidneys have been filtering like a well-calibrated engine, your circulation is humming, and your brain is ready to enter its nightly maintenance mode, deep sleep. But here's the catch. After 60, your kidneys slow down at night, processing fluid at half the speed of your younger years. Your bladder, now holding maybe 10 ounces instead of 20, fills up faster. Drink even a small glass of water at 7 p.m., and you're setting yourself up for a 1 a.m. wake up, call cold feet, racing heart, and a brain that won't reboot until morning. That's not just a bad night, it's a system crash. The data backs this up. A 2021 study in the Sleep Health Journal found that people over 60 who stopped drinking water 3 hours before bed around 6 p.m. for most boosted their deep sleep by nearly 20% and cut sudden awakenings significantly. Johns Hopkins medicine adds that limiting evening fluid stabilizes nighttime blood pressure, reducing the strain on your heart and brain. This isn't about dehydration, it's about timing. Your body doesn't need a late night fuel dump, it needs to coast into sleep, letting your kidneys rest and your brain dive into REM cycles where memories consolidate, stress hormones reset, and your neural networks recharge. Let me share a story from my own journey. During the early days of Neuralink, I'd work late, sipping coffee or water at 8 p.m. to stay sharp. Big mistake. I'd wake up at 2 a.m., my bladder screaming, my body chilled, and my mind stuck in a loop of half-solved problems. Sleep data from my wearable showed my REM cycles were shredded less than 10% of my night when they should have been closer to 20%. I could have turned to sleeping pills, but I don't trust band-aid fixes. Instead, I treated my body like a SpaceX mission: analyze the failure, isolate the variable, and redesign the process. I set a hard cutoff: no fluids after 6 p.m., period. If I was thirsty, I'd sip 1 to 2 ounces of warm water, barely a shot glass, enough to soothe without overloading. Within a week, my sleep tracker showed deeper REM, my morning focus was razor sharp, and my nighttime bathroom trips vanished. I wasn't just sleeping, I was optimizing my brain's operating system. Here's the protocol. After 6 p.m., stop drinking water. No exceptions for soda, iced tea, or that healthy nighttime smoothie. Those are worse, loaded with sugar or caffeine that irritate your bladder and spike your blood sugar. If you're parched, take tiny sips of warm water, no more than 1 to 2 ounces at a time. Why warm? Cold water constricts blood vessels, slows digestion, and stresses your system, especially at night when your body temperature naturally drops. Warm water, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, keeps things smooth without jolting your biology. Think of it as powering down a supercomputer. You don't yank the plug, you execute a controlled shutdown. But this isn't just about saying no to water, it's about understanding your body's evening rhythm. After 60, your kidneys' filtration rate drops by up to 50% at night, according to the National Institute on Aging. Your bladder's sensitivity increases, triggered by even small volumes. Drinking late is like scheduling a rocket launch during a storm. It's asking for trouble. Instead, you're programming your body to clear fluids during the day, so by bedtime, your bladder's empty, your kidneys are idle, and your brain can dive into the deep sleep that keeps you sharp. This is critical because sleep isn't just stits when your brain flushes toxins, your heart repairs microdamage, and your immune system recalibrates. Skimp on it, and you're not just tired, you're short-circuiting your longevity. Let's bring tech into the picture, because I'm not just a doctor, I'm a systems guy. Use a smartwatch or health tracker to monitor your sleep architecture. I do. My device flags when my heart rate spikes at night or when my REM sleep dips below optimal. Pair that with a simple app to log your last fluid intake, set an alarm for 6 p.m. as your cutoff. This isn't about overcomplicating things, it's about using data to make smarter decisions. In a world where we track rocket trajectories to the millisecond, why not track the inputs to your own biology? If you're skeptical, run your own experiment. Cut off fluids at 6 p.m. for 3 nights, track your sleep, and see the data for yourself. Science isn't belief, it's results. Now, what if you're thirsty after 6 p.m.? Life happens. Maybe you're at a dinner, or your mouth feels like the Mojave Desert. Here's the hack. Keep a small bottle of warm water, nearby 2 ounces, max, and sip it like you're rationing fuel on a Mars mission. Better yet, try a slice of cucumber or a bite of watermelon earlier in the evening, around 5:30 p.m. These foods hydrate gently with natural electrolytes without flooding your system. Avoid anything with caffeine or sugar, coffee, soda, even fruit juice, because they're like rogue code, disrupting your bladder and spiking your cortisol when you need calm. Why does this matter in the grand scheme? Because we're living in an era where the stakes are higher than ever. We're building AI that thinks faster than us, rockets that aim for Mars, and neural interfaces to merge with machines. But none of that matters if your body, your first and final technology, can't keep up. After 60, every night of broken sleep is a missed opportunity to recharge your brain, strengthen your heart, and extend your mission on this planet. Stopping water at 6 p.m. isn't just a health tip, it's a declaration that you're in control of your biology, not a passenger in a failing machine. This shutdown isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. It's about giving your body the space to rest, your brain the chance to dream, and your future the fuel to keep pushing boundaries. I've spent my life solving problems others called impossible: electric cars, reusable rockets, brain-computer interfaces. But the hardest problem I've tackled is my own body, and I've learned this. You don't need complexity to win. You need precision, discipline, and the audacity to treat your biology like a mission worth mastering. So tonight, draw the line at 6 p.m. No water, no coffee, no excuses. Sip sparingly if you must, but make it warm, make it minimal. Track your sleep, feel the difference, and take ownership of your night. Because you're not just shutting down for sleep, you're powering up for a life where every day is a chance to build, create, and soar. This is your body, your mission, your universe. Engineer it like it matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we've journeyed through the mechanics of your body, treating it like a spacecraft, navigating the turbulent skies of aging. We've engineered precision hydration 5 time windows to sync your kidneys, bladder, and brain for a night of unbroken sleep. But now, let's zoom out. This isn't just about dodging a 2 a.m. bathroom run or sipping warm water at the right hour. This is about reimagining your body as the ultimate technology, cosmic machine capable of carrying you through decades of disruption, innovation, and dreams that rival the stars. As Dr. Musk, I'm not here to give you a health tip. I'm here to hand you a blueprint for mastering your biology in an era where AI, biotech, and space exploration are rewriting what it means to be human. Let's talk about the future of health, where you, especially after 60, become the architect of your own vitality. Think about where we are. We're building neural interfaces to merge minds with machines, rockets to colonize Mars, and AI that outpaces human thought. But the most overlooked frontier isn't out there, it's inside you. Your body is a network of 37 trillion cells, a living supercomputer with more connections than the internet. Yet, we treat it like an outdated model, accepting glitches like sleepless nights or sluggish kidneys as inevitable. I reject that. At Tesla, we didn't accept cars can't be electric. At SpaceX, we didn't buy rockets can't be reused. And as Dr. Musk, I'm telling you, aging isn't a sentence, it's a challenge. The 5 hydration windows, 6:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and stopping at 6:0 p.m. aren't just about avoiding nocturia. They're about reprogramming your body to run like a starship, not a rusting relic. Let's ground this in reality. Your body after 60 is still a marvel, but it's operating with tighter tolerances. Your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood daily, but their efficiency drops by 1% per year. Your brain, which burns 20% of your energy, relies on deep sleep to clear toxins and sharpen cognition. Your heart, pumping 2,000 gallons a day, needs stable blood pressure to avoid wear and tear. The National Institute on Aging shows that poor sleep accelerates cognitive decline, weakens immunity, and raises cardiovascular risk. But here's the kicker. You don't need a pill or a biotech implant to fix this. You need strategy simple, precise, and rooted in first principles. That's where hydration comes in, not as a cure, but as a catalyst to align your systems for peak performance. Let me share a final story. During the Boring Company's tunnel digging days, I was pushing my body to its limits late nights, high stress, and a diet that was more survive than thrive. My sleep was a mess, and I noticed my memory wasn't as sharp. I could have blamed age or stress, but I don't accept excuses. I dug into the data, using a wearable to track my sleep cycles and a blood panel to check my kidney function. The numbers didn't lie. My late night hydration habits were spiking my nighttime urine output, fragmenting my REM sleep, and dulling my edge. So I applied the 5 time windows we've discussed, pairing them with tech to monitor my progress. I sipped warm water with ginger in the morning, cut fluids at 6 p.m., and used my tracker to confirm my deep sleep jumped from 12 to 18% of my night. My focus returned, my ideas flowed, and I felt like I was back in mission control of my own biology. That's not a health hack, that's a systems overhaul. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Hydration is your entry point, but the real game is integration using technology to amplify your body's potential. Wearables aren't just gadgets, they're your mission control, tracking heart rate, sleep stages, and even estimating fluid balance. I use one to ping me at the right times to sip water or move. Apps can log your intake and correlate it with sleep data, giving you real-time feedback. This isn't futuristic, it's here. The Journal of Medical Internet Research shows that seniors using health trackers improve their sleep and activity levels by 25% when paired with intentional habits like timed hydration. You're not just drinking water, you're running a live experiment on your own biology. But tech is only half the equation. The other half is choice, your choice to treat your body like a mission critical system. The 5 time windows are your code. 8 ounces at 6:30 a.m. to wake your kidneys, 6 ounces before lunch to prime digestion, 6 ounces at 3 p.m. to clear fluid buildup, 4 ounces at 5 p.m. to fuel movement, and a hard stop at 6 p.m. to protect sleep. Add gentle boosters ginger for inflammation, a splash of coconut water for electrolytes, or a drop of lemon for detox. These aren't random, they're precision inputs, like adjusting a rocket's trajectory mid-flight. The Cleveland Clinic confirms that spacing out 2 to 2, 5 quarts of water daily, timed right, optimizes kidney function and slashes nighttime disruptions. Why does this matter? Because we're not just living longer, we're living in a world that demands more. At 60, 70, or beyond, you're not done. You're launching startups, mentoring the next generation, or maybe just chasing a dream you shelved decades ago. But you can't do that if your body's dragging. Deep sleep fuels your brain's creativity. Think of it as your neural net training overnight. Stable kidneys keep your energy steady, like a battery that doesn't flicker. A strong heart powers your ambition, whether it's building a company or walking your grandkids to school. This isn't about avoiding a bathroom trip. It's about engineering a body that lets you seize every moment in a world moving at light speed. So, here's your mission. For the next 3 days, live by the 5 time windows, sip warm water at the right hours, stop at 6 p.m., and track your sleep with a wearable or even a notebook. Try ginger or lemon to keep it interesting, but keep it simple, no sugar, no caffeine, no complexity. Listen to your body's signals, lighter legs, sharper focus, deeper sleep. You're not just hydrating, you're rewriting your biological code. And in a world where we're racing to Mars and merging with AI, your first responsibility is to the machine you were born with. It's not about aging gracefully, it's about aging audaciously, with the clarity, energy, and drive to shape the future. This is your body, your starship, your legacy. You're not here to coast through the years, you're here to explore, create, and defy the odds. I've built rockets to break gravity's hold, cars to break oil's grip, and neural chips to break the mind's limits. But the greatest challenge is this: mastering the cosmic machine inside you. So take the controls, hydrate with purpose, sleep with power, and live with the audacity to make every year your boldest yet. The universe is waiting. Start with yourself.